Welcome to the GardeningDad.com's gardening school. My name is Paul, and if you're watching this video, you have a Japanese beetles problem. In this course, we're going to talk about how to get rid of and how to prevent Japanese beetles no matter where you live. Not only that, we're going to talk about common mistakes that beginner gardeners make when trying to get rid of Japanese beetles. And if you want to learn about how to get rid of a Japanese beetle on a specific plant, go to my website, thegardeningdad.com, and all you have to do is type in how to get rid of Japanese beetles and the plant you're looking to get rid of those beetles on. It's that simple. So let's begin. I'm going to start off with a couple important ways to prevent Japanese beetles from attacking your lawn. Number one, one of the best tips you can do to prevent is aerate your lawn every single year. So if you aerate your lawn every single year, it's going to help get rid of potential poisonous, deadly, toxic, whatever you want to call it, type of bugs on your plants. These bugs aren't going to be harmful for you, right? But they will attack your plants and they will destroy them. One of those being the Japanese beetles. So one of the easiest tips is to go ahead and aerate your lawn every single year. That's a very simple way to do it. The second way to prevent Japanese beetles in your lawn, whether it's on a fruit tree, whether it's in your vegetable garden, or even behind me on my grapevines, it's starting to destroy them, is just don't water as much. Now this is a tough one because right now this summer we're getting a lot of rain here. There's very little things we can do to prevent that. So there's ways to get rid of Japanese beetles. But if you live in a climate that does not receive a lot of rain, then the worst thing you can do if you notice Japanese beetles is to water more. They love water. That actually helps them. So prevent Japanese beetles by watering less. Those are the two simplest and easiest ways to prevent your Japanese beetles from attacking your lawn. In addition to that, keep your lawn clean. Like any other pest, if you keep your lawn clean, it's going to prevent deer, it's going to prevent rabbits, it's going to help minimize bugs. It doesn't eliminate them, but it could help eliminate or help minimize Japanese beetles attacks on your plants. So now that we've talked about a couple different ways to prevent Japanese beetles on your plants, let's talk a little bit more around what are some natural ways to get rid of those beetles. Let's say you don't want to use insecticide or any type of pesticide. What are some ways to get rid of Japanese beetles naturally? The first one, it's not for everyone, it's just remove them manually. So if you have, let's say, a fruit tree and you notice a few beetles on there, easiest way to get rid of them, just grab them, dispose of them, and you won't have to worry about them attacking your tree. Problem with this tactic is Japanese beetles can always come back, right? There's a lot more around, so you will have to probably do this every day, if not a couple times a day at least. So it's a very natural way to do it, but again, it's time intensive. Another way is just take a hose, and let's say I have this grapevine behind me, I'm just gonna take a hose, put it on that jet spray, and just spray them right off. Again, another very natural way. You don't have to use chemicals. It's gonna knock them off. A lot of times, it will prevent them from coming back on. But again, the downside around that piece is you're gonna have to probably do it daily. You might even have to do that a couple times a day. And in addition to that, again, Japanese beetles like water. So you wanna be careful where and how often you do that. So again, really simply, all you have to do is just manually remove them. The second one, again, is going to be spraying with a hose. Pretty darn simple. If you want to apply some sort of insecticide, but you don't want to use a chemical base, the easiest way to do this very simply is you're going to take some dish detergent, or dish soap, I should say, and you're going to mix it with water. So you're going to go ahead and mix that dish soap with water, and you are going to go ahead and spray that on your trees. It is a much more friendly, and most of the time it's going to be a much safer approach. Now again, I highly recommend reading the labels of any type of chemicals you use. And again, you do not want to apply this on your food source. I like to apply it on the leaves. If you want to learn about how to make that dish soap mix, go ahead and check out thegardeningdad.com, and again, find any article where you want to get rid of those Japanese beetles off of whatever plant, and I specifically give you step-by-step instructions on there. If you said, you know what, Paul, I want it easy, I don't mind spending a little bit of money, I want something effective, then I'm going to recommend that you're either going to use an insecticide or you're going to use a pesticide. Very simply, I've got two simple ones right here. You can see a dead bug approach, and then the other one, an insecticidal soap. Both are going to get the job done. Both are great options if you have a lot of Japanese beetles, or you just want an effective approach where you do it once or twice and you don't have to worry about it. I typically have Japanese beetles try to come and attack my birch tree every year. Very simply, I just spray it once, and after that, they never come back. So again, if you want to use an insecticidal soap, if you want to use a pesticide, those are incredibly effective. But again, please read those labels. They can be poisonous, they can be toxic. The most important thing is making sure you're paying attention to what you're spraying and the ingredients in that. And another tip I forgot to mention when it comes to preventing, the best way to get rid of Japanese beetles too is once you see them, go ahead and remove them right away. Do not wait. Do not do what I did with my grapevines. I was on vacation. I went on vacation right before I saw a couple beetles on there. I decided to ignore it. I came back. While the plant's still healthy and surviving, it did eat, they did eat quite a bit of the leaves there. So once you see them, remove them right away. Another option that you can do is you can apply neem oil. So again, neem oil is something you can apply. I know there's some very natural options and organic options out there. Once again, read that label on there, but any type of neem oil, insecticide, or your pesticide can be applied. Just don't apply it to the food source itself, and make sure you read the instructions to understand just if it's poisonous and what those ingredients are. Not only that, but one of my favorite things you can do that again is natural, organic, you don't have to worry about chemicals, is planting trap crops. So you might be asking, what's a trap crop? Trap crop is if I know Japanese beetles are going to destroy this grapevine, around that I'm going to plant other crops that Japanese beetles would prefer to eat. And very simply, one of their favorites is going to be geraniums. Geraniums are one of their favorite plants that you can put around, that they will rather eat those and not spend their time on important plants like grapevines, peach trees. Again, I've got some cabbage they've been on, you name it. It's a great way to get rid of them. I'm looking right now, and I actually planted some around my basil plants, and they have not touched my basil plants at all, which is fantastic news. So again, those trap crops are a fantastic option for anyone who doesn't want to use any type of spray or even make their own spray around that. Not only that, the last two options that I'm going to give you is, one is a little unique. It's not for everyone. If you have dead Japanese beetles, you can apply those Japanese beetles around and on your plants. They will repel Japanese beetles. They're incredibly smart, and once they see that, they understand, you know what, this is probably not a plant I want to attack and eat. So again, a different approach, not for everyone. I personally don't use it, but it's an option that you can use nonetheless. And finally, probably one of the best, most effective ways without using spray is just covering your crops. It's not the easiest, it's time intensive, but once you cover those crops once, those Japanese beetles are not going to attack them. So again, covering your crops is just another option that you can use to really prevent and destroy those Japanese beetles. And so we've covered quite a few options so far. When you're looking at preventing, we've talked about aerating the lawn, using less water, putting some trap crops around, even covering your crops are great ways to prevent Japanese beetles. To get rid of those Japanese beetles, spraying a natural mix that you've made, using insecticide, pesticide, neem oil, all fantastic options. And again, if you want something a little bit more unique, again, not for everyone, placing those dead beetles around. But let's now talk a little bit around what are some common mistakes that gardeners make when trying to prevent and get rid of Japanese beetles. The number one mistake I see all the time, I actually have a neighbor that uses it, are the Japanese beetle trap bags. All those are going to do is just attract more and more Japanese beetles to your yard. If you have any type of bag, anything like that, I just highly recommend not using those. It ends up attracting more and causing more headaches. The second option that I typically see, again, people make mistake on, and I've talked about, is just waiting too long. If you wait too long, those Japanese beetles are going to stay on your trees and they're going to destroy them. I have not had them kill any of my plants yet, but they will ruin them for the summer, and it's just not a fun option. And then the third one is just not being consistent enough. Whatever you do, you're going to probably have to do that for a few weeks in the summer. And right now, all the Japanese beetles are gone, but they stayed for about 2 to 3 weeks. So again, that's probably a common mistake. I spray once, I take care of them once, and I think I'm done. No, you're going to have to consistently do this throughout the entire summer. So those are just 3 common mistakes that I see beginner gardeners make when trying to get rid of Japanese beetles. Thank you so much for watching this course. Again, check out thegardeningdad.com and you can search any plant and look and find how to get rid of Japanese beetles if you want something written or to print out. So again, thank you so much. Please like, subscribe, and share this page with your friends. And until next time, happy gardening.